Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is your girl Dominique back with another video with 6 lessons that I have learned along the way in my weight loss journey. Things that I wish I knew long ago, but I am grateful to know them now, and I am happy to share the knowledge with you. So let's get into it. My first lesson is the importance of tracking your food. This is critical to your success, especially in the beginning. This will help you understand exactly what you're eating, how much of it you're eating, what times you're eating, and it'll allow you to see some of the patterns and behaviors you have. Now, at this point in my journey, I actually don't need to do this anymore because I have a really strong pulse on how much I should be eating, and I have a good understanding of what my triggers are, so I know when I might feel the need to overeat and how to overcome that. But if it wasn't for using MyFitnessPal and the Lose It app, which actually became my favorite, up front, and seeing exactly what I was eating, I wouldn't have been able to get a really good pulse on my diet. And I mean everything, y'all. If y'all take a bite of something, like, that counts as calories. It's not magic calories that just disappear. So if you take a bite of a cookie, you need to log that cookie, girl. But this is critical to your success, especially in the beginning, and as you begin to cut down calories. At this point in my journey, when I take another calorie cut, I'll go back to logging so I get a good understanding for what 1,700 calories looks like, what 1,600 calories look like, and how I'm able to eat within that allotment. So tracking your calories is lesson number 1, critical to your success. Lesson number 2. So I mentioned that I no longer track my calories once I get past a week or 2 of a new calorie deficit. And how I'm able to do that is by planning. And we are going to dive into this and some other topics that I hit on in this video. But this is, when I say this has been key to my success, this has been the key, the secret sauce, so to speak. I plan my week in advance, so I know what I am going to eat on any given day. And you might have some calibrations on snacks and things like that, but I know exactly how many calories I should be eating at each meal. And 9 times out of 10, or really 9.75 out of 10, I know at each meal what I'll be eating and how much of it I should be eating. So then I don't feel the need to count the calories. And so, like I said, we'll dive into the specifics of how I'm able to do that. And it's been a game changer. It feeds into meal prepping throughout the week. So for me, I'm someone who likes to keep breakfast and lunch pretty easy. So I'll eat the same thing throughout the week and prep those on Sunday afternoons. But then my dinners, I cook every night because there's only so much repetition I can do. So I like to keep my meals quick, easy, and healthy. But in order for me to do that night after night, I do a little bit of prep on Sundays. But the key to it all is that planning session that I do. So I have my menu ready to go. Lesson number 3. You have to believe that you are capable of achieving this goal. You need to see it for yourself, and you need to know it's possible. You cannot enter a weight loss journey with the mindset of defeat in place, because please believe me, you will not be successful if you think you're not going to be successful. Y'all hear that one? Okay? If you think you're not going to be successful, you will not be successful. So if you're thinking in the positive and you're thinking of yourself as successful along the way, and that you can visualize yourself at the end of the journey, and what that means for you, it'll help in the process. It'll help in those moments when you feel like you can't, or when you don't want to, you're keeping your eye on the prize. And I do this through a couple of different tactics, but one that I actually recently did, and I'll share with you guys again in a later video. But I've created a vision board for myself on my cell phone that includes a picture of me at a smaller weight. So every time I look at my phone, I'm looking at this picture and I'm reminded of my goal. Aside from that, I also have my vision board up in my room. I journal about in a forward thinking manner. And again, we'll touch on this in a later video. There's a lot of content on the way, guys, but I speak of things as if they're here because I know that they're coming. Okay, so I can talk about it in the present, and it helps to keep me in that positive mindset, in that idea of success. All right, lesson number 4: the importance of self-care and understanding your emotions and how to handle them in a healthy manner, not associated with food. So this is a lot, in all honesty, but for me, one of the important things that I learned, especially during that logging my food period, is that I ate emotionally. And so in order for me to not dive into old habits, I had to learn how to not rely on food to make me feel better or to heighten my emotional experience. So in those moments of joy, when you say, let's go celebrate with cake and ice cream, let's go celebrate with wine, let's have dessert, let's treat ourselves. All of those thoughts that come up with different emotions, I've had to find other avenues to substitute food with. Now, it doesn't mean that I won't celebrate someone's birthday or, have a glass of wine here and there, but it means that I'm not reliant on those to satisfy an emotional need. I have them because I enjoy them and I want to, and I've planned for it, so it doesn't disrupt my goals and what I'm trying to do, but I am not reliant on it to feed an emotional need. Okay. And so again, I journal. That's been a very good outlet for me. I also try to make sure that I infuse things throughout my day that bring me joy. So whether that's listening to music or a fun podcast, self-care is going to look different for everyone. It doesn't necessarily mean like a spa day. It's just finding those opportunities to infuse the things that bring you happiness, comfort, and just put you at ease, so you don't have to rely on food to do that for you. All right. Okay. Lesson number 5, celebrating non-scale wins. So we all get hung up on the scale. I do it too. I am guilty of it. Sometimes I weigh myself more than I know I should. I aim for once a week. Sometimes it's a couple times a week. It's just natural. But I don't want to define my success or my value by that number on the scale. And so since I know my goal is weight loss, there are other ways to validate that success aside from the scale. So there's even been times where I also try to measure myself on a frequent basis where I haven't lost any weight, but I've measured my waist and I may have lost an inch on my waist. Non-scale win. There have been times when I've buttoned a shirt that I haven't been able to button in a while. This actually happened, and that's a non-scale win. I was on a plane a few days ago, a very small plane, and those tend to have smaller seat belts, and I was able to fit comfortably and buckle my seatbelt without an extender, which is something that I wasn't able to do before. That is a non-scale win. They are everywhere, guys, and they are critical to keeping your mental sanity so you are not relying on a scale to validate you. Okay? They are everywhere, and they are beautiful celebrations of the hard work that you're putting in on a daily basis. Look for them. Even small things like today I decided to say no to dessert. I didn't really need it. I wasn't hungry anymore, and I didn't plan for it. Everyone else at the table had it, but you know, I stuck to what I knew was going to aid me in my success. It's a non-scale win. Okay? And our last tip is stay committed and don't give up. It can be a hard journey. It can sometimes be a lonely journey in losing weight, and that's why I've started this, to hopefully build a sense of community and an open and honest community. But stay committed to yourself. You might stumble, and that's okay. Just make sure you get back up, okay? Maybe the next day, maybe the next week. Just continue the journey. Continue the positive thoughts. Continue finding opportunities to celebrate you, and continue working towards your goal. And you're going to hear me reinforce this point time and time again because it's critical. I, for a long time, was all or nothing. Either I'm eating lettuce and carrots every day, or I'm gorging on nachos and chocolate chip cookies, which are my favorite foods. But there is an in-between place, and there is a place of balance. And in those moments when you might overdo it on the nachos and chocolate chip cookies, guess what, girl? The next day you can pick it up with some healthy eating. That doesn't necessarily have to be lettuce and carrots. That's extreme, and we're not trying to be in a negative place just because we're eating only rabbit food, but you get my point. The point is to find opportunities of balance, to not get so hard on yourself that you feel the need to quit and not continue the journey, even in those moments where you might stumble, where you might overeat, where you might make a poor decision of what you're eating. All right, guys, so that was my 6 lessons, or excuse me, those were my 6 lessons that I've learned on my weight loss journey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all right? Hit the notification button so you'll know when I release a new video, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.